Hi, this is Shade Foray with TaxSaleSupport.com. I'm here with Steven Swenson, and this is one of our Property Deal of the Week videos. Now, this particular week, we're actually going to be talking about Michigan. Michigan has tax sales that are coming up here. Michigan is a tax deed state.
Yeah, exactly. You know, what happens in Michigan is a property owner becomes delinquent, and after a couple of years, the county goes ahead and forecloses on that property and creates a tax deed.
Yeah, so basically, the county is the one foreclosing on the property, and to recover delinquent taxes, they hold tax sales. And so, there are actually a bunch of counties within Michigan that kind of hand over their tax sale responsibilities over to a certain office, and that's why we can go to kind of one website to see a whole bunch of different sales.
Yeah, absolutely. Almost all of the auctions, save a few, are handled by one company. Now, one thing that's nice about Michigan auctions is that the county goes out in many cases and takes photos of the properties, can even take inside photos of the properties, and this can really help give us a better idea of the condition. One thing we always talk about buying structures is that we never buy a structure sight unseen. We either see the property ourselves or we send somebody out there to view the property for us.
Yeah, it's a must. You just have to with tax sales, and because you never really know what's happened to the property leading up to this. Many of the tax sales that are going to be happening here through tax-sale.info. That's the tax auction website there for Michigan counties. And their sales actually begin on August 2nd and go until September 3rd.
Yeah, so within that month period of time, they're going to be going through many different counties and offering lots of different properties to sell.
In fact, what we have here is just some different properties from different counties. So actually, each property is from a different county holding a different sale. During that time period.
Yeah. So what we're trying to do here is just give you guys a peek of some of the type of properties that are available happening throughout the auction.
Yeah. Because there are amazing properties that come up for sale in these tax sales, and with Michigan, here's a great example. This is an amazing 310-acre hunting retreat, basically in Iron County. We can see there, it's got a minimum bid of $106,000, but the SEV on it, which is going to be less than half, basically half of assessed, is what that is. It's going to have a value of probably close to $500,000 or more.
Yeah. From what we found in most of these areas, the SEV value is around 50% of the market value. And so, you'll look into each one of those areas, but that's kind of what, generally what a lot of these properties will fall around. So I think Shade's pretty accurate in saying this property is probably worth, excess of $500,000. But we do see, a very nice property. It looks a little bit more like a hunting retreat, camping retreat. It says it consists of 6 different parcels, but they're being sold in one auction lot, and that's probably means that all of these different properties are connected together.
Yeah. Well, and you can see that I think it's been used as a hunting retreat before. At least the inside of the main house would appear to be that.
Yeah. Well, you can see there's a house, looks like to be a garage as well. So even though it's just a lot of land, there's actually a structure and it's livable.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, really nice.
I mean, people have used this hunting, but you could easily live there year round.
Yeah. In addition to, some amazing structures, there's also lots of amazing land, that is for sale. I mean, this is a 10-acre piece of property that starts at $8,200. It is right there on Lake Michigan.
Yeah.
It is. You can see. I kind of got it zoomed out there on the map. You can see exactly where the property is located at. It's got lots of beach, and also forested area. Just a nice piece of property that's probably valued, in excess of $85,000-$90,000.
Well, and you can even see from the overhead map to the left that there's other home structures within the area.
Yeah.
So, this is kind of an area where people will build a retreat, a home, so they have close access to the water. And like Shade said, it's right there on the lake. So you're really talking about a prime location.
Yeah, really nice. Here we go. It's another little cottage. They call it a sharp little cottage. When we mentioned before, that Michigan's one of the few places where we can get interior photos of these properties, and also a breakdown from the county of what the property is, what the condition is like on the property. And so this one we see it opens up for about $18,000. It is on a little. It's on a McNerney Lake, and we can see here opens up at 18,000, SEV of 57. So it's probably valued in excess of 110,000.
Yeah, and these inside photos were taken pretty recently. Probably within the last month or so.
Yeah, right before the tax sale.
So we know that these are current photos. It gives us a real good idea of what the inside of this property is. I mean, one of the biggest fears is what does the inside look like? And here we can see, hey, this is actually pretty clean, pretty nice setup. Now, one thing to bring up is that we can see couches, furniture, stuff like that within this property. If we did buy this property, one thing that we would need to do is we would need to send the previous owner essentially a certified letter letting them know that we purchased the property. There's a bunch of personal property within here, and give them a time frame. Usually it's between 14 to 30 days to get that stuff cleared out.
And look at that too. Do you notice the size? I think it's a generator setup back there.
Yeah.
And an air compressor too. That looks like on the other side. It looks like it's pretty well set up.
Yeah. So the point is once we've sent out that certified letter, if the property owner has not responded, then we could do what we want with them. So we could get rid of them, we could, sell them, we could use them, and something like maybe that air compressor, as long as we went ahead and sent out and done the legal thing as far as letting them know, giving them a time frame, then we could go ahead and use it.
That's in Chippewa County. This one is in Schoolcraft County. This is a modular, or basically a manufactured home on 1 acre, and it's pretty nice, really clean.
Yeah, absolutely.
Opening bid of $4,500 with an SEV of 36,000. I mean, it's probably valued in excess of 70,000. Opening up at 4,500, a great little property.
Yeah, really nice. Got a little garage there as well. You pick up this property, you can even see from the interior that you might do a few things, but it's pretty close to rental ready.
Yeah, it's pretty both usable right now.
I mean, if we were to buy this property and decided we want to rent it out, we would probably, check a few things, but it's pretty close to being rentable. And if we decided to sell it, then at this point we would probably just be taking it through quiet title so that we can get a clear title and then sell it for full market value, because it doesn't need a lot of work.
Yeah. We love to include some of the weird different properties here. This one is definitely, one of the different properties here. It is, it's an entire little peninsula, on Torch Lake that, opens up at 35,000, but has a crazy SEV value of 2.3 million, which means it's got to be closer to 4.6.
Well, and you can see that it almost looks like there's definitely been roads built into the property, and it almost makes me kind of wonder if they had planned on building lots on it at one time, or homes or something. It almost looks like it was set up for something like that.
Well, and what's weird too is I think these are retention ponds or some kind of ponds in the middle.
Huh.
I think that's water in the middle. But anyways, thought this was kind of interesting. It's a pretty big chunk of property. They listed as 46 plus acres, and the way it breaks down is actually a bunch of different lots. They have kind of included there as one. But yeah, really interesting property coming up in Houghton County, maybe. And then, of course, another weird one here. In fact, I don't even know how to pronounce this county. Charlevoix. I was going to look up the pronunciation before, but forgot to do it.
Yeah, I'm not even going to try it.
No, but this is weird because it is. It's 10 acres of property, but it's essentially an oil and gas processing plant. Kind of an old one, which I've got another page on this that kind of describes it more, but interesting. I mean, there's still an oil pump right there and a whole bunch of, you know.
Well, and this is the kind of property where we might really need to look into some environmental issues.
Oh, yeah. I mean, if you can just read in the comments that they have here, they basically talk, visual inspection as partial indicates potential environmental contamination. You couldn't imagine that with the retention pond they have right there for whatever.
Yeah.
What they say here, Clear contains North Star Energy pumps, storage tanks, and lines above ground. Abandoned oil and gas production facility on a square, partially fenced 10-acre parcel near Vanderbilt in far eastern Charlotte, whatever county. The good news, if there is any, is that the geotextile liners appear to be retaining liquid, so there should be less contamination than there could be. Well, that's the good news, is that it hasn't started leaking yet. The bad news is the site will likely require expensive, insured, professional cleanup to return any sort of use.
Well, you've got to think that this company, whoever it was, maybe they went out of business, but they were willing to walk away from this property for back taxes.
Yeah, which is crazy when you consider the cost that went into getting it set up, and everything it does, but they didn't even have to clean it up.
Well, and that's the thing. It may, let's say that to demolish this building and everything would cost them, $300,000, and they can only sell the land for $300,000, or for $200,000 or something. You just never know. This is the reason why this kind of property could be highly profitable. I mean, really, even just the scrap alone.
Oh yeah, I mean, there
could be hundreds of thousands of dollars, but there's also huge risk as well, and so we're going to find these kind of properties out there, and if you're a good real estate investor and you really do your research into it, then this could be, a gold mine. But for some brand new investor, this could also be, a major headache.
Yeah. You may want to contact the Michigan Department of Environmental Quality, other relevant state agencies for additional guidance. There also, purchasers were strongly advised to obtain a baseline environmental assessment. But anyhow, yeah, interesting property nonetheless. But these are, again, these are all properties from the Michigan tax sales that are happening from August 2nd to September 3rd. These are all these online tax deed auctions happening here through the Michigan's website, tax-sale.info.
Yeah, a lot of opportunity. There really is hundreds of properties available. It's going to be taking place throughout that month, so if you're interested in Michigan tax sales, you can go ahead and get registered.
Yeah, and if you like this type of training information like this, you should join our membership program, which is hands down the best bargain in tax, lien, and deed training. You can do it for just $39 a month. It includes tax sale lists, live training, and all the recorded stuff in the past.
Yeah, in fact, we do a weekly webinar each week where me and Shade will go ahead and train on all kinds of different topics. So there's definitely a lot of value there. Thank you for watching, and be sure to subscribe.
Yeah, thank you.